Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can proceed to start. Pretty much everyone seems to be in. I'll admit more people if they come through.
Okay, that's great. Ashwata, over to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing good. Thank you for attending the College of Engineering's virtual session on second major business. And today we have four speakers with us. Firstly, we have our Associate Professor Andy Kong here from College of Engineering. Then we also have three of our own students, Young, Yuxuan, and Tulip, who will share their experiences as second major in business students. My name is Ashwata, and I'm from the School of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, and I'll be the panel moderator for today's session. Okay, just a quick announcement. If you all have any queries, any questions, please submit them through the chat function, and we'll address them then and there. So let's start. Firstly, I'll hand over to Prof. Andy to say a few words. Start the session.
All right, just a few words. Don't talk too long.
No.
Yeah. joking. Right. Hi, everyone. Nice to see all of you here. It's really very exciting. Sometimes we wish that we can see you in person, and really have a nice interaction with you guys. But in any case, I think I just want to touch on the purpose of these virtual sessions. We really hope that this session will be of use to you. So that you can really understand what's the rationale of doing a second major in business, and really understand from a student's point of view. Okay, because I can say all I want, but I think nothing beats words coming from the horse mouth, so to speak, right? Now in today's world, right, you will find that things are becoming more and more uncertain. Things are becoming more and more interconnected. Okay, what this goes to say is that the next generation of employees coming out to the workforce cannot just rely on a single domain discipline. Okay, we have to be aware of how economics, how business decision can really affect our engineering solutions, our engineering decisions. Okay, so this is getting more and more important. You will hear this word interdisciplinary being used over and over again when we start to train our next generation of the workforce, in particular engineers. Engineers will need to, for example, communicate effectively. Engineers will need to work collaboratively. Engineers will need to understand, how external forces will affect certain decisions that they have to make. So this is where the interdisciplinary, the second major, will come in. Okay, and the other aspects of today's session is we hope that you can understand what do some of our students do as they go through their undergraduate journey with us. I think one of the most common concerns or questions raised was, what's the workload like? Are you guys doing a lot more compared to a single degree? Well, I think these are all very, very valid, concerns. And I think that we want to use this platform so that you can understand, how students, like, for example, Yishen, Yong, and, Tulip are coping with their studies. Okay, so those are my few words. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Okay, so let's do a round of introduction. So maybe Yong could start, like, which JC are you from? Which course, are you from? What are your interests / hobbies?
Okay, so hi, my name is Young, and I'm currently studying EEE and Business in year 3. And I was
As
from
your background says.
Sorry?
Your background.
Yeah, I was from Hajong JC, Hajong Institution, and yeah, what else?
Any hobbies, interests that you do in your free time?
Okay.
Apart from the chat.
I enjoy dancing. I was in my hall dance CCA. And this year I'm kind of busy, so I couldn't join them. And because of COVID and all, then a lot of competition, like dance competition, was held online, like live stream instead. So I didn't join this year, but like yeah, in year one and year two, I joined quite a lot of dance CCA.
Ah, nice. Okay, Tulip.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Tulip. I'm currently in my first year studying computer engineering with a second major in business. I was from Raffles Junior College, and interests and hobbies, I would say I like traveling a lot, but COVID. So
Okay. Yuxuan.
Hi everyone, I'm Yuxuan. I'm currently year 2. I study mechanical engineering with a second major in business. I was from National Junior College. My hobbies are reading and build robotics.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we can move on to like the course curriculum and stuff. So major question, how is your workload, guys? That's the first question that everybody has in mind, I'm presuming. Yeah. So how's your workload load right as second major business students? Anybody could go on.
Yushin, you want to go first?
Yeah.
I think
I
Shen's,
think she's
Yushin got
Based
stuck?
on my
Young?
2 year,
oh, okay.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
not coming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yong, you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So for me, I feel like the workload is quite manageable. I still have a lot of time to join like all the CCAs and all the student committee inside my school and organize a lot of other events. I think mostly because like for second major in business compared to like a single degree, the number of academic units, which is like the number of subjects that you have to take inside your course is kind of similar. Difference is not much. I think it's only about 3 or 4 more subjects for your whole 4 year. So the workload is fine and you still have a lot of time to hang out with your friends and enjoy a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Wow, 4 to 5 more courses or modules for your entire 4 years. So that's like one more module every 1 year ish.
Yeah, roughly around there.
No wonder you are so active in your CCAs. Hey, Yushin, you're back.
yeah.
Okay. How many more hours do you do compared to those who does a single degree?
Uh, Actually, I agree with Yon. There's not a lot more work for us to do, but one thing that we need to be cautious is the way we study engineering is very different from the way we study business. Um, the kind of assignment you get, the set of skills you need is different. So you need to consistently transfer among the engineering course and the business course. Yeah. But
Yeah.
otherwise, as the workload wise, I think um, it's very manageable. Yeah, the school designed the course for us. They extract the main business courses for us, and they are very useful, but they don't take up a lot more time. So yeah.
Yeah, you brought up a very interesting point, and perhaps we can spend a little bit time to talk about it. You talk about very different way of training, right? I mean, in your engineering courses and in your business course, how different are they? Can you be more specific?
As in engineering, we all understand that we do a lot of science-related subjects like physics, mathematics. Mathematics are also being utilized in business, but business is more about analysis. So you have to make sense of the numbers, make sense of the context, and always you need to how to say be aware of the what's happening in the world, and that will change the kind of the business report you write. For example, like the course called marketing, it's always changing, and there's no standard formula that is always true.
Mm.
You
Okay.
have to reflect on the context. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's really nice because I have had a chance to talk to quite a number of companies, because of my job role. And these days, companies are always talking about we want more than just the content because what you learn today, wherever you are, will be obsolete very fast because the world is moving so fast. It is the skill sets that we are really after, and this is where the broadening skill sets, the ability to think of a problem holistically will come in, and this is why having second major will actually help you to overcome some of the unforeseen challenges in tomorrow's world. Tulip, how about you? How many hours do you study? I hope your mom is not behind you listening in.
I would say about the same as what the rest of them have said. I don't really spend as much, I mean, any extra times studying my business modules. In fact, I think it's pretty much about the same. Whatever the single degree students have as UEs and JERPs are substituted as our second business modules for us. So for me, on average, I have about one extra academic exam, which is really negligible in my opinion. So
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
I don't really spend any extra time studying business modules.
I
Yeah, so
see.
the workload is fine.
Okay, right. So the workload is fine because for a single degree major, they would need to take up general education requirements, the broadening part. It's just that your broadening part is focused on the business aspects, right? Okay. Okay. Good. Um, Ashwata, are there any questions online?
So far in the chat group, not really much
Not
of a question.
really.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, participants, do feel free, to raise questions in the chat group, in the chat box, so that we can, have you be as participative as possible. Whenever you think of some questions, please feel free to raise them.
Maybe Prof. Andy, I can pop in here. There is some interest in questions about like which is a more suitable for me, whether it's a double degree or a second major. So maybe you can provide some insight, or the panelists can provide some insight.
Okay, right. Anybody wants to take that? What's the difference between what you are doing and a double degree program? Well, I can start first. Double degree program requires 5 years, whereas a second major, you can complete it just as your peers, 4 years. Workload wise, I think double degree requires a little bit more workload, but not too much also, right?
Maybe how about the duration is the same, right? I mean, it's different, right? From for double degree
Yes, for
and
double
second
degree
major.
is 5 years, and second major programs are 4 years.
Oh, and I remember for grades wise, it's like the GPA for double degree, you will have two GPA. Before double major is combined GPA.
Yes, yeah. Your grade in your second major will be combined to form your degree or the. Okay.
There's,
Um.
there's a
Yeah.
question here actually. Is there
Okay.
any requirement that I need? Example, a certain level of rank points or anything that gives me a good chance to get a double major.
Okay. This is, I guess, admission, right? Okay. I cannot go into the specifics of admission. One of the reason is because think of it like like a stock price, right? Right. If there are a lot of good candidates who apply to the second major, then we will have to sieve out those candidates, right? So these rank points will fluctuate across time. Okay, so the most accurate information will be through our websites. There's this thing called IGP, Indicative Grade Point. Okay, So you can search for this IGP NTU. Over there, we will list down for each program what are the 90 percentile grades and what are the 10 percentile grades. From there, you can actually make sense of what kind of grades we will typically look at. But again, I have to say that it fluctuates from year to year. Okay, hope that answers your question. Now, before we answer the second question, I thought maybe it's a good time to zoom in a little bit on the content. Okay, so just now we talked about the skills. The way we train engineers and business are different, so you get the best of both worlds in terms of training. Now, in terms of the content, if I may ask every one of you to think of the most interesting course in your second major, and if you can share us a little bit of the content, essentially teach us, okay, that course which you have identified, and perhaps if you can link back to how this is useful for an engineer, that would be great. Okay, so choose one course which you took. Anybody? No? Tulip, you want to go first?
Okay, sure. So I mean, because I'm in my first year, I haven't really taken as many courses as you and Yushan would have taken. So I only have one course that I can share about actually, which would be financial management. I took it last sem, and I think most second majors, if not all, would take FM as one of their first few courses. Yeah. So essentially what financial management is about is actually just, okay, so what they cover are things like capital budgeting. So making use of current market conditions to determine the prices of stocks and bonds and things like that. So there's a lot of, I would say, calculations involved, which I like personally, which is why I enjoyed the course actually. Yeah, and then they also cover things like stocks and bonds. And as someone who didn't really understand what they were about, I think FM was helpful in letting you gain a basic understanding of what things like stocks and bonds are. And I think it's important to know also if you want to make investments of your own in the future. Yeah.
Okay, especially if your company is going through IPO, this will be very important.
Yeah. Yeah, IPO is also something that we briefly touch on. Wow. And yeah, so also we cover financial markets and institutions, which are, banks and other markets and institutions, which I don't think a lot of people, I mean, I didn't know, so I found that pretty insightful. Yeah, so I think it's a very basic course that lets you and gets you into the understanding of what business is about. So yeah, that's
okay. That's good. How about Yung? You wanna go next?
Sure. So one of the modules that I find very interesting for me is this module for international trading and international law. So because for me, what's the difference from me between like me and Tulip and Yusen is that I'm taking a specialization in international trading. So for business major, you can take like a specialization when you go into your third year, fourth year. So for me, because I feel that Singapore is a very big trading hub and all, then it's quite interesting to learn about trading, about export import, and how international events are affecting a lot of like goods and prices around the world. So in this module, we touch on like how international law, like taxes and shipping, how they all affected your goods that is being transferred from one country to another. Then we also learn like how certain events are affecting goods. Like if you guys remember, there was like this period during COVID where oil prices went like negative. So people are effectively like paying people just to buy the oil. And we learn like why that happened and why are people doing that. And it's kind of cool to me. And during like this kind of specialization, I also have like a few like industrial talk where a lot of like CEOs and managers of big companies go over and talk about how their companies manage risk and all. So I think it's kind of a balance between learning things theoretically and see how the companies work in real life.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I fully agree with you. At one point, you lose money when you produce oil. Yeah. Okay. Ishen, how about you?
Okay, so different from you, I'm taking a mainstream in business, so the most traditional business major. One course that I remember the most is actually marketing. So, marketing is a very familiar concept, but in this course, we actually say, oh, marketing is not a very general concept. It has many technical knowledge involved, like how you define your desired target group, how you segment the uh, market, and how you promote your products. And actually, it's very helpful in engineering course as well, because in MAE, at the end, in year 2, we all take a very we take a course called EID. So a group of 10 students will came together and produce a product, and you have to write a marketing report based on that to actually to say, oh, you actually fulfill a customer need gap. And that's where actually my marketing knowledge became useful in the group.
Mm,
Yeah. So
one of the things which I used to own a startup, and a lot of times, me being an engineer, we will always think about, oh, this, product is so good, so useful, right? It will solve all the problems in the world. Now, when the business people come in and say, is this really a problem in this world? So that got our heads, scratching a little bit. Yeah. Yes. Ashwata, how are we doing in the chats?
Yes, we have a couple of questions
Nice.
here.
Okay.
Yes. So I think the first two questions are actually pretty similar. So in total, how many modules do I need to complete in my 4 years with this program of double major? I mean, if I've studied some of the modules in my poly, will there be an exemption? In turn, reducing their study duration. So will there be any exemptions of modules if they are from poly or something?
Okay, yeah. So, anybody want to take that question?
Yeah, most of us here are from JC, right?
From
Or
JC.
have you heard of anything? Or
Okay, right. So, generally, the exemption goes through, a procedure, a process, where there will be, check and balances, so to speak, to ensure that you satisfy the exemptions. Okay. So what the process is that once you are matriculated, then you can surface what courses that you want to be exempted, and then there will be a review on those requests. Okay. So in general, as far as I understand, for JC students, maybe you got some courses exempted, right? Perhaps maths or physics, am I right?
Yeah, maths, physics, econs, and one programming course.
No wonder you're so free. Yeah, for poly, same thing. It's the process. If you go through the process, then the university will let you know whether you will be.
okay. So another question: can I choose to take second major after year 1, or must I indicated during the start?
Nope. You have to apply direct to the second major. Okay. Once year 1 start, you can actually drop your second major if you choose to. Okay. One of the reason is because we want to start the clock early. We want to get things going so that you can actually graduate with your peers within 4 years. So you have to apply directly to second major, and you cannot add the second major after you are matriculated. Okay.
Okay. I think so far that's from the chat box. Maybe a question like, how extensive are the courses from business, from your second major in business are? Because is it how's the balance of courses, like from engineering courses and business? But you all said you only have to take extra 4 modules comparatively from a single degree to a second major in business students, right? So how extensive or how in-depth are the courses for the business side? Maybe Yong could help us
Okay.
answer this.
Okay, so for my curriculum, for every semester, one semester is like around 13 weeks, 14 weeks. Then I take about six to seven module. Then of this 6 or 7 module, 2 of it is from business. So it's kind of like the workload from business is still like relatively less compared to the workload from my home course, which is triple E. Yeah, so that's a rough comparison. Then I think for single degree friends, then instead of this business mod, they will have to take like other elective mods, like also like from other school. So
Yeah.
I think it's the same for like SCSE and MAE as well, right?
Yeah.
So the business modules that you all learn, are they like the very common ones, or those important modules that the normal business degree students take, or like as you all said, have any difference in that?
For this, usually like in your year 1 or year 2, you will learn like all the basic of
Mm.
business, from accounting to what you said mentioned just now, which is marketing. Then the mod that Tulip mentioned also about financial management, which is more like finance and investment. Then you will learn like all of the basic from stocks, bonds to principles of marketing. Then after that, when you go into year 3 and year 4, there will be more specialization in investment, banking, or like trading.
Okay.
Sorry, just one thing. There's a question about the perspective of doing a second major from someone who's transitioned from polytechnic. So maybe, I mean, you're all JC students here, so maybe Prof. Andy can give some insight on this. There a lot of other poly students who do their second? I mean, yesterday we spoke to Chevy, who's from poly, and he's doing a double degree. What about second major business? Do we have a lot of students doing that?
There are a number of students. Well, I do not have the statistics. Well, I guess I can pull out the statistics if needed. But majority of the students will be from JC, and perhaps one of the reason is because for poly students, they would want to come in as a direct entry students. That means they would want to start off from year 2 and then do a 3-year degree and contribute to the economy, right? But if you are doing a double degree or a second major, this is where you have to start from year 1. Essentially, you have to ask your parents to delay their retirement by just 1 year, which is not a bad thing. Because I do see that when I interact with poly students who goes through the second major, it really opens up their broaden their perspective, okay? Because in their poly diploma days, they will really focusing on and because of the design of the diploma, focusing on one domain area. Yesterday we have had a chance to, like what Bess was saying, right? To talk to one of the diploma holders who is now doing the double degree. He actually moved from business and management to an engineering degree with a double degree in econs. That's very different, right? So there are some of these cases, yes, and he's doing really well. Does that answer the question? I hope so.
Yes, hope
Yeah.
so too.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit to talk about your CCAs. You claim that you have only a little bit, one module more per year. then what are your CCAs? What have you guys been busy with? Yushen, you want to go first?
Um, for me, actually, my CCAs are actually all related to my home major, so mechanical engineering. I'm in robotics club, and I'm also in leadership development program under MAE office. So, and actually both of the, actually LDP, inside LDP, we have a lot of second major students, not only from business, but also other second majors. And I do see that my friends who are taking two majors demonstrate more, time management abilities, and they like to organize a lot of MA school-wide events, and the school trusts us to hold them. Yeah, I think, and in robotics club, I just do the more technical job. We build robots, we go for competition, and all sorts of things.
Great. How about Tulip?
Okay, sure. So I'm in WSCGO, which is Welfare Services Club Growth and Opportunities, which is a subcommittee under the whole of Welfare Services Club. So what GO does is that we spread awareness of social causes and we promote the spirit of volunteerism amongst NTU students. And also we try to explore ways through which WSC can grow. So that includes, supporting new portfolios and etc. Yeah, and also I'm in this subcom called Ideathon. So I hope you know what a hackathon is, right? Yeah. So it's basically like an ideathon, and it happens during the summer break every year. So right now, in terms of CCA workload, we're just starting to get more busy with event preparation and liaison and contacting organizations and sponsors and stuff like that. So yeah. I also do live in Hull, but I'm not part of any Hall CCA yet. But I do hope to join some Hall CCAs in probably my second year.
I see. Yo?
I joined quite a lot, so it will take quite a while to name everything.
Yes,
So
please share all your experiences.
So in school, I joined like a lot of student committee, like say there's this committee called like Garage at Tripoli, where we do like a lot of like sharing and workshop. Then this committee also like career orientation for freshly. So I also in charge of like the 2 years ago orientation in common. Then I still have our like every year orientation. Then another one is Tribute Club, which I'm also in, and I help out with more of like publicity and designing posters and like social media posts for Tribute Club. So if you guys go into Tribute Club Instagram account, you'll see a lot of my posts there and a lot of designs are there. Then I'm also in this kind of like a CIP committee under Tribute Club to organize volunteering activity for Triple students. So it's called Ignite, and we did kind of like a fun event last year during, no, it's 2 years ago, during Christmas to teach like primary school kid, underprivileged primary school kid to build Christmas light out of something called Arduino. So it's kind of fun because you get to teach kids who know nothing about programming, about like this kind of thing. Then yeah, that's more like school stuff, and I join like a bit here and there. Then for hall, I am also quite active in hall. So I do orientations for hall, and I also join like dance competition for hall, and then I also take part in like inter hall and inter school games, sports game. So for school, I run race relay for school last year, and for hall I did field hockey. So it's actually quite a lot. Yeah.
Yes, it's like so many different areas.
Yeah, I just feel like in university you can get out to try a lot of stuff because there are stuff that like there are sports and there are like performing arts that is not so demanding, and people just like accept people like you come in without any prior experience and you just like play and train for fun. So it's a very good experience.
Okay, that's good.
Nice.
It's very difficult to catch Yung, very difficult. She's
Yeah, seems
my
like it.
mentee, Yeah, she's
Oh,
my
okay.
mentee. So difficult to get her.
Wow.
Oh man, okay. I think we should encourage the participants to keep the questions coming in.
Yes, please send in your questions. We'll
Or you can even unmute your mic, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Just feel free to drop in the questions, guys.
Let's turn our attention to internships. Okay, internships. Uh, Raise your hands if you have done your internship.
Oh my God, I guess there's only me.
Only you. Okay.
Okay.
Right. You want to share your experience? Do you do a business internship or an engineering internship?
I would say I did a programming internship. Like
Okay.
it's not so much into triple E, but not so much into business either. But so my internship was that last semester I did a data science internship in Shopee. So data science is a lot about machine learning and AI, and you need to know your programming languages well in order to build models to help out with whatever product that they're doing. And okay, because since we are talking about a second business panel, so I feel that the knowledge that I learned from business also help out a lot when I work within the company itself. Because I think nowadays in big companies, a lot of projects that you guys would do is a team project. So you would need to know what are the business goals and what are the common aim of the whole team in order to like do your task really well. So yeah, what I learned from business is that I know that usually what are the processes, the business process are like. I think both of Tulip and Yusen already took the business operation and process it, right? So yeah, it's kind of similar. There are like different portion, and they will need to ensure that all of different teams within one product line have to do everything on like the correct timeline in order for the product to be rolled out on the correct day. Yeah, so when you learn about business and you go to work, you see all of this whatever you learn is being like in action, and it's kind of cool to see that.
Okay. Right. So Tulip, you have anything? Any? So you in year one still, right?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I don't have any.
Okay. How about you, Shen? Any like during the summer break or
Um,
anything that you've done?
Actually, I haven't done an internship, but I have already received some offers for my internship next semester.
Okay. So are they
Actually,
like engineering related or like business?
they are all engineering related. But
Okay.
I received an offer from Dyson yesterday. And to be
Oh,
honest, in the interview process, I think my business second major actually contribute a lot
wow. In what way?
because
Could you like tell us more
because
about it?
the Dyson, the interviewer, they actually focus a lot on their company culture
Mhm.
and their goal, and they will really emphasize on the question that how can you contribute to the company, and
Mhm.
that one actually requires your understanding of how Dyson is different from other companies in the business sense. So they already know you very well from your projects, from your GPAs to test your engineering capability. But how you understand the company culture then and actually defines how you are later you will actually use your skills to help in a specific direction. Yeah. So actually the interviewers were quite interested in my business major. Yeah, that's
Wow.
very.
Okay. So
And
I see
they will ask, yeah,
there's an an added advantage as a second
yeah,
major student there.
yeah.
Okay, just a question here. What is the difference between studying a major in business compared to economics? Uh, so have you all like, ever thought of taking a double degree instead of a second major program, or then why did you all choose second major instead of that? Have you all like encountered such an experience when applying to university? No, anybody?
Actually,
Okay.
for me, a little bit, because
Okay.
my choices for when I apply, you were given like 5 choices. I remember, yeah,
Yeah.
around
Right.
there. The next choice, the choice after my triple E was second major business is triple E with double degree in econs. But then, because I talked to my seniors and my friends who were taking second degree in econs, then what I heard is it's a lot of mathematics and essays related. So I just feel like I want to know more about like how companies work and how their processes work. So it's more aligned with business. So that's why I choose business.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's shorter time also.
Okay. Hope that answered your question.
Maybe I can contribute a little bit, perhaps
Yes.
at a higher level.
Yes, please.
Econs is about economy. I mean, okay, so it's about understanding how countries and certain policies drive certain economies. So you talk about macro and micro economics, okay, monetary policy. Like what Jung suggests, business is more localized in some sense, lah. Okay, not always, to how the company operate, the marketing strategies, the finance, how these strategies can affect the finance health of the company, the accounting sense. Okay, so there are subtle difference with regard to this. Yeah. Oh yeah, just now I had to excuse myself because my boss was really very excited. The dean, he came to my room um, to announce that, oh yeah, we are QS ranked number 4 in the world, in engineering. I said, wait, okay. I think
Wow,
it's
round of
gone out to celebrate.
applause.
Huh?
Round of applause.
Yay! Yes, yeah. So he's gone out to celebrate now. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Next question.
Yes. Am I able to drop the second major during the second or third year, and will this affect my graduation date or GPA? Because you all said you could drop it in year 1. How about year 2 or 3?
You can drop it anytime, right?
Okay. So will
But
that affect the graduation date or GPA?
I think the answer is no, it will not. The reason is because how this is being structured, right? Remember, we say that a single degree, will have to take what we call the broadening part. Second major student, okay, just like the student panelists here, their broadening part is specifically focused on the business aspect. Okay, so what this means is that if you want to drop your second major, these business courses will go into the basket of the broadening part, just like a single degree student. Okay, so the intention here is so that you will not graduate later than any of your peers. Your results will also not drop because all this will be considered holistically, before and after the drop. Okay. Yeah. I
And
hope.
actually, I think
Yes.
if you want to drop halfway, but you have already taken 3 business courses, you are able to claim a minor, not a major, but a minor in business as well. So that's actually is also an add-on if you decide to drop halfway.
That's a good
That's
point.
really good point, Yishan. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, maybe another question like how does it really help with like future prospects? Are there really a need for double majors in the market? That's one question from the poll that was being asked.
Is
So
there
is
need?
yeah, like do you all apply your business knowledge into your engineering jobs? You know,
Hmm. Okay.
just a question.
Yeah. Any student who wants to answer? If not, I can go first and then you can see what you want to substantiate. I'm coming from the perspective of, someone who has only done a single degree without any broadening. Okay, I'm electrical electronic engineering trained. Okay. A lot of things which we have done, especially in translating research to the industry, I find that a lot of times I am handicapped. Okay, let me explain to you why. While we are very good in terms of churning out the technology, we kind of are not aware, in some part of what's happening, the market forces that drive certain products. Okay, and this requires a lot of training and a lot of exposure as well. Let me give you a simple example, right? If we work on a solution, we have to really understand market segmentation. Okay, and this is a business term. Okay, right? Who are your target customer? You have to identify this group, and this is where before I even I exposed to this, I have companies who come and ask me this, and I was like, what's target segment? The only target I know is my target signal, which I need to generate. Right? So I think this aspect is severely lacking in my team. And another good example is I haven't had a chance to learn how to read the annual report, the financial report. Okay, so I think these will actually give very good insights into how the economy is driving certain market, which are the growing trends, which are not so trendy right now, and the ability to read market reports is very, very important. I'm handicapped by all this. Okay. Young,
Maybe, yeah.
what's your view? Tulip, what's your view? Ishan, what's your view?
Okay, if I can add on, Yushen previously mentioned that the way we study our business courses and engineering courses are very different. So for business courses, there's a lot of group work involved, and I think that really equips you with collaborative, like being able to collaborate with others, and I think that's important in your workplace, regardless of whatever discipline you come from. So I think that personally, I feel that business courses really do help to equip you with soft skills such as management and leadership abilities, which really do which I mean, it depends on whether or not you agree with me on whether they're needed. But I think that they will come in handy at some point in time in your career. So yeah.
Fully agree. Absolutely agree. How many presentations do you have to do?
For FM, I did two. Then for the current business course that I'm taking, which is business operations and processes, we have to come up with a whole report on the process, like the business operations of a certain company that we choose. So that also involves group work, but it's throughout the entire semester. So yeah.
Yeah, I think for all the business subjects, you cannot run away from presentation.
Yeah, I mean, engineering modules, we ourselves have presentations. So, business, yes,
Yeah,
definitely, I guess.
I do see this as an excellent opportunity, to brush up and acquire presentation skills. I learned it the hard way, but I think university education these days, engineers is not just about solving equations. It's the ability to collaborate, like what Tulip was saying, with peers. Even though if you are a mechanical engineer, you have to learn how to, work with electrical side, computer side, right? And that's where the ability to articulate your thoughts, ability to inspire people around you becomes very, very important as you drive technological solutions. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question here, but it's not really related to our second major, I guess. What is the first year lifestyle like? I heard it is mandatory to stay in the hostel for the first year before we can choose to stay either at hostels or at home. Well, I don't think so. I mean, guys, y'all stayed in hall, so y'all could just answer this question.
I don't think it's mandatory actually.
Yeah, it's not
You
mandatory. Yeah.
either stay in hall or your home. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe anything about like your year one lifestyle. How did it go? I mean, maybe Tulip is you're in your year one. You could share with us. How is it like going? You know, how's your day like? you know.
Okay, sure. So for my first year, I've just chosen to take it easy and breezy. So I don't have much on my plate right now. But I do stay in hall because I stay all the way in the east. So traveling is a pain. So I do stay in hall, and I don't have any hall CCAs. But that being said, my hall OG is quite an integral part of my hall life. So your OG is the orientation group, and honestly, they make all the difference in your hall stay. So I definitely do recommend joining orientation groups and making friends with your neighbors and the people you meet in orientation, because those are the people that you're going to be having your meals with for your entire hall stay. Yeah. Apart from that, yep, like I've said, I don't really have much on my plate. So right now, I just try to, balance school, and also I'm trying to learn, like, get some basic foundation on the side so that I can work on my personal projects in the future. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that answered the question. Okay. Mm.
It becomes compulsory when your parents wants you to get out the house and stay in the hall. But if you ask me, I think it is important to stay in hall because this is where you really mature in your thinking. You really meet a lot of people to broaden. I keep on using this word today, right? Broaden your horizon, broaden your thinking, look at things from multiple perspectives as what you will soon realize when you come out to work, you can never, never, ever have a tunnel vision on a problem because coming up with a solution from a single dimension perspective makes your solution very, very vulnerable to external, disturbance. Okay. Questions?
So far, no questions in the chat. Anybody has any questions, please put them in chat box.
All our participants today are pretty shy.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
no okay. While the questions come in, right? Why don't I just share the slide that I need to show to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I need to share this slide so that you can get your feedback.
Okay. I actually have one slide as well, but you can do first.
Okay, good. Okay, so so this is the slide. We need your feedback so that we know that we are on the right track. That this session was informational. That we got the information that you're looking for. If you have more information, you can go to the COE website and the COE email address outreach-coe@ntu.edu.sg. If you have questions about admissions, you can go to the local admissions. This is for local students. Students with international qualifications, you can email this number, and then Instagram, Facebook, you can find this here as well. I believe the feedback link is also posted on the chat, so you might find it there if that's more convenient for you. Yeah, Prof. Andy, did you say? I'll just leave the slide here for a little bit so that if anyone else has any last thoughts to add on, feel free to do while they are doing the feedback.
I'm not sure whether while they are doing the feedback, I'm not sure whether the prospective students here, in this group, have any challenge to decide on your base program? Okay, I mean, we have spent quite a bit of effort, hopefully, to convince, not just to convince, but inspire to take up a second degree, a second major in business. But I'm not sure, maybe we can have a sense on the ground whether students have difficulty in selecting which engineering programs. If you have, then just give us some indication in the chat box, whether you have any challenge or you want us to say a little bit about our base program. Any indication, or you all know exactly what you want, mechanical, electrical, computer, civil. We don't have a civil representation here, but if there's a question, I can answer that.
I mean, if going back to when you got your A levels, all three of you, or four of you, Ashita including.
Okay. Yes.
You had to make that you were deciding assuming that you were deciding among engineering programs.
Yeah.
Then, what made you settle on the program that you have settled on? Start with, okay, maybe Ashita, go ahead first.
Okay, sure. Actually, I was not from JC, I'm from Poly.
Oh, you're from Poly, okay.
Yes, I took triple E actually in Poly. So, but then I specialized in aerospace. So I've always wanted to do aerospace, just that, in Poly I had to take triple E. So I specialized in aerospace. Then, so I sort of already knew what I wanted to do. So then I applied for NTU's aerospace engineering, but then I didn't get to go into direct entry, so I started from year one. I think it's my interest for a really, really long time, ever since I was in secondary school. So yeah, I sort of knew what I wanted to do. So my two options were either aerospace or triple E. I applied for both, but I got into aerospace. So yes.
What about you yourself?
For me, I was kind of unsure of what I should apply when I ended A levels, because for me, like during JC, I took PCME, which is more like very basic science and math and econs courses. So it's not deep enough like engineering. So I don't know, like really, like I know that I want to do something that's more science related, but I don't know like which kind of engineering or computer science should I go to. So I was a bit lost also. Then after that I went to like open house. Then I talked to staff and profs from different universities, and I came to realize that maybe triple E is suitable for me because it's very versatile too for people who don't know, like a bit lost, they don't know what to do like me. Then triple E is quite versatile in terms of like what I will be studying and what is my future career that could be. So that's why I put triple E as my choice to study in university. Yeah.
Okay.
Yishen, yourself?
Yep.
Me, I have always wanted to do mechanical engineering. But one interesting fact for me is I initially joined NTU because it has a design stream under mechanical engineering. But after 1 year of study and I get to choose my stream, I actually shift to robotics side because in the first year I joined robotics club and I do a lot of robotics related projects, and I really feel that my passion for robotics is stronger than design. Then I shift to robotics. So I think my idea is if you like something, it never hurt that you try first. You learn some knowledge about it, you do some projects related to it, then you can be sure that whether you want it or not.
Okay.
And
Tulip?
Philip, yeah.
Okay, so I was also quite confused between all the engineering that there is. But I got into some coding at the end after A levels. So I was looking at computer engineering and computer science. But I'm a more hands-on person and I like, and I saw, those robots that my seniors were building, which is why I chose computer engineering over computer science. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, we have a question here. How about chemical and biomolecular engineering? Will it be difficult without a physics background? Actually, like I think we have this physics like preparatory program or something, physics and mathematics. Even I joined it. It was in July or something. So they actually prep us for what we're going to actually encounter when school starts. So it was like really how to say all those basic concepts and topics refreshed. So I think it was a really good program. Maybe um, y'all could join it. Anyone else has anything to say or something? Have y'all like joined the preparatory program as well? Or
There
Let me
is
see. Yeah, sorry, you go first, please.
no, also apart from the preparatory course, I think all engineering schools will have a physics module in the very first sem. So that should prep like a student for all the physics that might come up. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's it.
Yeah, I think because it's an engineering program, you might want to be keen in physics, okay? Because let me just explain a little bit. What's the difference between sciences, which includes physics, and engineering, right? And sciences is about understanding the laws governing how things work in real world, okay? But engineering is the application of these rules and formulations, okay, to bring human, technology to the next level. So because of this application, right, you have to understand a fair bit of physics, okay, how forces work before you can, or how, fluids move along surfaces before you can design the wings of a plane, for example. Yeah. So physics is part and parcel of engineering. Now, when it comes to chemical and biomolecular engineering, it's always about the process. Okay, how do you churn out? How do you maximize the yield when you mix two chemicals together? Okay, science will tell you two parts of hydrogen plus one part of oxygen will give you water, right? The key question here is how do you maximize the yield of water under what conditions? Okay, so this is where the physics will come into play. Okay, I think we have another question, isn't it?
yeah, right. I'm interested in business but unsure with engineering because my current poly is engineering with business. So some engineering mods I like, but others not so much. So he's like on the fence between NTU with second major in business or like SMU with like business, you know, full business style with second major.
Hmm. Okay. Student panelists, what have you got to say? I'm sure you have considered business before, right? As one of the possible choices. Why do you still end up in engineering? Um, Yung, you seem like you have an answer ready.
I don't know. Okay,
You don't know.
this is just a joke between like me and my business friend. Is that um an engineer can do business roles, but a businessman cannot do engineering roles. So that's what I choose.
I've
Well,
heard this before too.
oh, right. Right. So how many friends did you lose?
No, it's just a joke.
Right.
But yeah, I guess like for engineer is, you can see like actually it's like the trend now. A lot of CEOs for many big companies, they hold an engineering degree, not a business degree. Like usually people will take like engineer, then after that they will take like an MBA, like master in business, afterwards if they want to run a company. Because the technical skills for me, still think that is much more important to understand whatever like the technical projects that your company is doing. Then after that, the business part is the add-on in order for you to like manage a whole big company. That's why I choose like a double major instead of like just business.
Philip, what's your view?
I chose engineering because I really like maths and sciences and I like problem solving. So yeah, the reason why I went with business as a second major was so that it could just equip me with the soft skills that I really wanted. Yeah.
Okay.
Yushan, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with Tulip and Yong. So, in my perspective, is business is more like an add-on to engineering. So, but business alone is not as attractive as engineering to me. Yeah, but I just feel that the combination of the both will is very strong.
Yeah, indeed. I married someone with a business degree, so our family is very strong. Yeah. But coming from an engineering perspective, I think moving forward, your generation is going to rely a lot, on the technological advances. Okay, and over here we are talking about the next smart manufacturing technology, using robotics, to ensure that we are more efficient. And then you do see that as the global population is aging. Okay, you need technology to really come in to help to enhance our efficiency and to some extent, only to some, decision making. Okay, as computers become smarter and smarter, then they can, really, take over. I wouldn't say that there will be a complete takeover, right? But certain aspects of especially like manual work. Okay, then we do see that robotics will come in very handy. I mean, look at autonomous car, right? They are starting to take certain amount of cognitive load of human beings already, right? So some of these, I think, being in a engineering, being in a, I would use the word technological, space, will give a lot of advantage in the future generations. It's an exciting time to move into technological space. Right?
Okay.
How are we doing on time?
Oh, we've gone well past.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prof. Andy, you said you had a slide to share or something?
um, I guess. Okay, just one. I mean, we I can share. If students are interested. I need to be the host, I guess.
Oh, do you? Okay, I can
Yeah.
make you a host. Okay.
Thank you for your insights and time from chat.
Okay, I'm the host now. I have this slide. This is the slide which I prepared for students who is really lost in what kind of engineering to choose. Uh, to help students, I prepared this set of slides whereby I say that one possibility is to look at the industry of your interest. If you think that aerospace is your industry of interest, doesn't mean that mechanical engineering is the only engineering degree program that you have to get in. Doesn't mean that you really just have to do aerospace engineering in order to get into the aerospace industries. Okay, And of course, similarly, if you look at, you know, defense technology, okay, they hire a lot of different engineers coming from different background. And just to recap, right, we just now we talked about the need to collaborate, and this is where different engineering, and different engineers from different domain will need to work collaborative to come up with a system. Okay, your generations, you will start to think about systems, okay, coming to work together and being interconnected, okay, to optimize certain outputs and efficiency. Similarly, if you are thinking of, hey, I want to get into the city of future, civil engineering is not the only engineering program that you can that you can contribute, even if you are in mechanical computer science. You can also contribute in building the city of the future. So I hope that gives you a rough idea of how you go about selecting your engineering domain area of choice. If you are interested in radar technology for airplanes, then it's electrical or computer science. If you like to work on the generating a lighter materials for airplanes so that you can enhance the fuel efficiency, material engineering is for you. Okay. Good. I guess in the interest of time, maybe we should hand over to Bess, who will take us through to the end of this session. Bess?
Okay, that's pretty much concludes the session, really.
Okay.
I think we've more or less addressed the questions.
Right. I thought you were going to buy us lunch,
Oh, maybe another time. Okay, so if there's no more questions, everyone, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming in. I hope the panel was able to answer your questions, your queries. If you still have questions, you can email, come to the COE website and then contact us via there, or contact us on our social media, COE social medias. Okay, that is pretty much the end. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, students. Thanks,
Thank you.
Bess.
Bye.